guys, today I'm doing a video all about highlighters and how to get a really nice glowy look on your skin, how to use these products. Not so much like a favorite highlighters product. I'm not just going to be like featuring different things and saying, you know, this is one I really like, which obviously the things that I use in the video are my favorite things, but I'm telling you more so how to use these products so that if you have like a powder highlighter or a liquid highlighter, or a primer that has like some, you know, like a pearl finish to it, or even like a cream product in a pot, that you can get some good tips on how to apply them, no matter the brand, no matter what it is. Because there are so many similar products out there, it would be silly to say, this is how you use this particular thing. You're only going to get this result if you get that. So that's really not realistic, and I kind of feel like that's implied with all of my videos. You can find similar things in almost every brand, even at the drugstore. But you gotta watch out, because I was at the drugstore the other day and there were some products there that were like $13, $14. So that was a little insane. If I get something that's convenient at the drugstore, I want it to be cheap. Highlighting your skin is so great because it does a lot of different things. It can make your skin look more like youthful and glowy. You can make your eyes look more awake, or you can do it much heavier and look really festive, like for a party or something. Highlighting isn't always about shimmer. It's about just highlighting your features with maybe a lighter product. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to talk about are liquid highlighters. Now there are a couple of different kinds that that I have, or different types. One would be more like a primer, and I have featured this before in a video. This is a really cool product. There are different brands that have a product like this. This is the Tarantino Pro Glow one. I like this because it's not greasy, and I'm very picky about primers. I did use it today. So if you want that kind of like all over, really pretty, like luminous pearl look, I would recommend a primer that has it in it rather than an actual, like, this is my Benefit High Beam, like a product that is actually like a liquid highlighter, or even the Smashbox Artificial Light. I'm going to show you this in a second. This is just my little size. I would go with a primer, basically because it's more subtle generally. What you can do with this, you can use it one of two ways, or three ways really. If you really want to use it as a primer first, I just put it on my hands, I apply it all over. If you're using a pearl primer, you don't want to powder it down, you want it to look luminous, so I typically use a liquid foundation after that. Now this is my Matte Velvet Plus by Makeup Forever, which I absolutely love. If you apply a liquid product over a product that you've already applied that has pearl in it, it's just going to smear it all around. It's going to pick up all the pearl, it's going to, you know, disperse it on your face. It's not going to be as even, it's not going to just layer perfectly. It's going to pick up the product that you used before. What I do is I apply this with my fingertips all over, just like I would a normal primer. And then I take my beauty blender and apply my foundation that way. With a beauty blender, you dab your foundation on like that. You're not so much smearing it around or rubbing it in or even buffing it in like you would with a brush. So I find that when I do this and apply it like that, it kind of keeps that pearl glow underneath, and I really feel like my skin, even though this is a very matte foundation, my skin still looks luminous and glowy, but not shiny and oily, which is my perfect little balance of what I like my skin to be. Another way that I use this is I sometimes will actually mix it in with my foundation, like half and half. I'll put my foundation in my hand, and then I'll put like a couple drops of this and mix it up and then apply it. That works great too. Or you could apply your foundation first, put a little bit of this on your hand, and then just go back with your beauty blender or whatever, and then dab it on like an actual highlighter, like an actual liquid highlighting product. So I think this is great because it's so multifunctional. It's a really multitasking product, and I love it. Now if you are going to actually use a liquid highlighting product like a Benefit High Beam or the Smashbox Artificial Light, which I love this stuff, I've got to get a full size of it for myself. I have one in my kit. You would do it exactly like I showed you with the Tarantino stuff. Put just a little bit on your hand, and I love this because it's not too gold, it's not too pink, it's just perfect for every skin tone. It's so pretty. Then you just kind of apply it just like I showed you with the Tarantino one. It's really, really pretty. You can really see the effect that it gives. And then go to like a clean side of this and just kind of blot over it so that there's no little lines or anything. You can even buff over it with a brush to make sure that you've really kind of blended it really nice. And you can do the same thing with the high beam and everything. I like to keep really frosty or really shimmery highlighters, and I would consider this, you know, a highlighter that has sheen to it, has a lot of shine to it. I would keep that probably around this area. Don't take it in so far. I do like to keep this area bright, but I don't like to use heavy shimmer because it will emphasize your pores. Just right here. So you can use a face powder that's a little lighter for you and dust it on right there just to get it, you know, just to kind of brighten up that area a little bit. This is a Sigma F35, which I love for powder highlighters, which I'll get into in a second. MAC does have a product, and it's a pro product, so I've talked about this a lot. It's the Emphasize Shape Powder, which I love. This is just a duo. They don't sell these anymore, but they do sell these individual colors. This is the Bone Beige sculpting powder for contouring, but I really love this because it doesn't have heavy shimmer to it. You can find similar products to this. It's just a highlighter that doesn't have a heavy frost to it. It just has like a really nice light shimmer. But if you don't have that, just definitely use any kind of face powder. That might be a couple of shades too light. I'm going to get to powder highlighters in a second. I kind of got ahead of myself. But there are some really great cream highlighters. And if you have any of these that are in like little, you know, pots like this, these are just my matte cream color bases, which I really love as highlighters. This is Pearl, and this is Hush. I've talked about both of these before. I really love them. This is a great base for blush. If you put it on first and then put your blush over it, it really makes it last a long time. And these aren't greasy. I apply these much in the same way. You could use a brush, like one like this. This is a Sigma, but it's an old numbering, so I'm not really sure. But it's like the MAC 188. You can get that in there and apply that to your cheeks, and you know, this is a nice brush for that. But I've just really been loving using my beauty blender for products like this. So I literally just dip it in there and then just apply it like I would. Now, obviously, I would not be applying all these products. I would just typically use like one or the other, but just for the sake of showing you. And then I just kind of bounce it like that. Take the pointed end and then just barely down the center of your nose. It just kind of makes your nose look a little slimmer. But don't go overboard with this on your nose or it'll just have the opposite effect. You can even put a little dab on your fingertip and apply it right there to the little bow of your lip. And it just kind of, I don't know, makes your lips look, kind of defines your lips a little more. It looks flattering on that upper lip. As far as powder highlighters go, the NARS Albatross I really like. If you use it very, very sparingly. It is very yellow. It's a very like yellowy gold highlighting product. Do not ever use that on your nose because you'll think it looks good from a distance, and then when you get out in the sunlight or you get up close to it, your nose just looks yellow. Now if you use it on your cheeks, that can kind of blend into your, to like your cheek color or your bronzer or something, and the golden shimmer doesn't look as bad. But I would just use this same type of brush and dust it right in that same spot. Like I said, just very sparingly with the Albatross. A little bit goes a very long way. So then you can kind of take that same product or whatever powder highlighter you're using and then just lightly kind of frame your eye. Don't go up with it on your forehead because that's typically where you would contour. But just kind of go up to right there, like at the edge of your eye, and you can kind of frame in your eye and create like a little crescent. And that kind of connects with where you would typically highlight your brow. Moving on to like highlighting your eyes and stuff, you can definitely use eyeshadow on this area of your face if you're in a pinch. And then I always talk about this, but when I highlight my eyes, I think it's really flattering to kind of put just a little bit of a lighter color right there. Nothing super, super shimmery because it's going to have the opposite effect and look crazy. I really like this Vapor color by MAC. That's just what I'm using today. It's a really nice light pink that has a little bit of a sheen to it. Nothing super frosted. There's so many colors that you could use for this, just anything that's light. Sometimes I even use a matte color up there. And then for my inner corners, I take like an E30 brush by Sigma. You can take that same color, and see I've already done that, but you can apply it to this inner corner of your eye and it really opens up your eyes. It really creates a nice bright effect. And that being said, pencils are great highlighters too. From a white pencil, a white eyeliner like the Fascinating Eye Kohl by MAC, to the Benefit Eye Bright, which I love. You can just trace that on the inner corners of your eye. You can add that as your brow highlight. It's just a great product, so I love those. So that's it for my highlighting video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you will bust out some of your highlighting products for the summertime and enjoy them like I do. So I will talk to you all very soon. Bye!